Have you ever had one of those days or moments where you find yourself looking back and you do a Google search for like classmates or um, your class that you graduated from high school with? So I recently had one of those moments and I did a search and I saw that there were a few reunions over the years that I missed, and I saw pictures of them, and it's kind of a strange feeling. It really is. It feels a little strange because on the one hand, it's like I am this person that you see, and I have responsibilities, I have duties, I have a job, I have a wife, I have children, um, hopes, dreams, schemes, all these different things floating through my head about how I want to shape my future. And I find myself looking at these people, and suddenly I almost feel like I kind of snapped back to who I was um, when I was a teenager, and it's kind of a strange feeling. It really is, and I don't really I can't really tell everyone how to process it, except you gotta at a certain point. I don't. For some people, it's easy to go back to that time and reconnect with friends and stuff. I don't have any friends from school. They all left. A lot of them left senior year, to be honest. Um, I had a falling out with almost all of them, and then the ones that stuck around after, they just fell off one by one after that. So in a way, I kind of see that as a blessing, because had I not had those falling outs, had I not broke those relationships, whatever you want to call it, I wouldn't have been forced to grow as a person. I wouldn't have had to find new friends to rely on. And in some cases, I still don't have those positions, if you will. Um, I've just been left vacant, and I don't. I'm not in a rush to fill them. I guess what I'm saying is that part of growing up and becoming a man is realizing that your time when you were a child was for that time and that time alone, and that there's nothing to go back to. There is no way to slip back into my old self and be young again. There's no way. And some people might think of that as, oh, that's so sad and depressing. But on the flip side, I have these I have this whole new collection of people in my life. I'm more responsible, I'm more careful. I still have fun. I still do things that I want to do, but that was that. That was the time that I was young. I can't change that. I can't go back and just do it all over again, or go to some reunion and pretend like these people liked me. I don't think anyone in my class liked me. I didn't give them much reason to. I I don't know how to describe myself. I never really saw. Somebody once told me when I was in school, I'll never forget this. He said, "You don't," in a almost complimentary way, um, in terms of praise. He said, "You don't see the lines between groups of people." He said, "I'm amazed you're able to just do the things you want to do, say what you want to say, and you don't care about the different types of groups that are inside of the school." I never really thought about that, and to some extent I still feel that way. I still don't care. Like, truth is truth. Beauty exists. God is real. These things I guess what it all comes down to is just the simple phrase, truth exists. There are some things that are actually true. And why that's such a groundbreaking take is because most of the world has been so brainwashed and so deluded into thinking that an exception can overcome a rule. It's like if you tell somebody, well, 1 + 1 is 2. Well, then they'll say, well, actually, if you carry, if you, not carry, but like, if you look at this number or that number and what is 1 and 1 of what, they'll just go into like this pretzel brain mental gymnastic routine to make you think that 1 + 1 isn't 2. I've never succumbed to that. I've always known what was what because it's right in front of me. And so I had that mentality back then. I never lost it, and I'm thankful for it. It's the same mentality that's kept me resilient through all the bad parts of my life. It's the same mentality that made me not take the vaccine. It's the same mentality that makes me see the obvious things that are going on in the world, like Israeli control of our government, Jewish, influence in all the top of all our industries. I mean, you've got politicians that are literally wearing the Israeli flag as a pin on their jackets when they go on the debate stage, but somehow I'm supposed to look at that and not say 1 + 1 is 2. You get what I'm trying to say. But I digress. Going back to the whole thing about high school and seeing people and all that kind of stuff. Good for them. That's cool. I wasn't particularly popular in school. I was just me. And in the end, it didn't even work out with the people that I thought were my friends back then. And I don't say that in a sad way. I'm glad. And let me be 100% crystal clear. There's not a thing I would change about who I was in school. There's not a thing I would change about my life, period. Even if you ask me, about something that happened yesterday, I wouldn't change it. Who I am in the moment that you see me is who I am, and I'm never ever going to be that guy that says, "Oh, I wish I could go back." I wish I could go back and be young again and all that stuff. No. You had your time, just like you're having this time. Seize the day, live. It goes back to this thing that I saw a long time ago. It was at Costco, of all places. They had a 90-day rose, a rose that would last for 90 days. And I remember telling my wife at the time, what's the point of a rose if it lasts that long? The whole beauty of a rose is that it doesn't last. You're meant to enjoy it in that moment, the peak of its bloom. To see it open its petals in front of you and display its beauty for just that snapshot. That is the beauty of the rose. And to make it for 90 days, it defeats the purpose of a rose. I'll give you one more anecdote. This one's dumber. This one was tattoo removal. Well, if tattoos can be removed nowadays, then what's the point of even getting one? A tattoo is meant to signify something that you would carry the rest of your life. Like you were married to that tattoo and it would never leave your body. Now they have tattoo removal. So it's like I can go get my entire face blasted with ink looking like, I don't know, some psychopath or something. And then a week later I can get it all removed. So what's the point of getting a tattoo? At that point you might as well just use a washable Crayola marker. But I hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from. If you do find yourself getting some type of invitation for class reunion or something like that, go. If there are people there that you genuinely want to see or genuinely laugh at, go. Go and have a great time. But I think for me and a lot of other people, it's hard to look back at a time when life was so simple, knowing the duties that you have today. Maybe it's different for women, I don't know. But I live for my kids now. I love my kids more than anything. And I feel like those type of things, it's almost like you're wishing that you could be something else again. I don't want to do that. I just want to live. I want to be myself. So I'll leave it at that, guys. Hope you're having a good 2025. Stay true to who you are. I'm not going to give you guys updates like every week like I did before. I don't even know who's still listening to me. But if you're out there and you're listening to this, you are the resistance. Cobra out.